Hello everybody, it's Charles Norman here again from Professor Q Sports Solutions, and over the past few months we've got a lot of feedback from one of our favorite sections on the website, which is our product review section. Now about 3 months ago I did a product and I showed you guys, and it was a product for a software program, that I told you guys would completely revolutionize athletic scholarships. So I'm going to go a little bit further on that. So this whole video will be about athletic scholarships and everything you need to do. Now I got from parents, from administrators at school, everybody said, okay, we bought the software, we see the schools that we can go to, now what do we do next? So I'm going to do this video and I'm going to walk through really quickly the 5 steps that you need to take to make sure your kid's in position to get an athletic scholarship. Everything you need to do. Now, if you go to our website, ProfessorQSS.com, it'll be a little bit more detailed. But really quickly, I want to get this video out to you guys so you'll know exactly what to do next once you have the software. So we're going to start from the thing you should do first, and I'm going to go all the way down to the last pieces of the puzzle. All right, so let's go. So number one, you want to go to your high school guidance counselor for your child. On Monday, the very next day after you see this, you go there and you tell them, I want my child to have the classes they need to play NCAA Division I basketball or football. I don't care what sport your kid's playing. Just tell them you want that. NCAA Division I basketball or football. You want your kid taking those courses. The NCAA has done all the work for you. They've given the set of classes that you need to take to qualify as a player to play at the top schools. So if you take those courses at your high school, you'll be set. And here's the bonus for that. Even if your kid doesn't get a scholarship or decides not to play in college, they still have the classes that will get them in a majority of schools across the country. So it's a win-win either way. Now, if your kid's taking AP courses and all that stuff, that's great. But these are the basic courses you need to take to qualify for virtually every school across the country. So there's no reason to not do that. And also, if your kid happens to get an NCAA Division II, Division III, an NAIA scholarship, or any others, the NCAA scholarship is the top one. They'll qualify for all the others. So you're just in perfect shape. So that's the first thing you're going to do. And some of the bigger high schools actually have an athletic counselor at the school. So you want to talk to them. But otherwise, go ahead and talk to your regular counselor, and they can get you set up. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you can do this for yourself. You go to the NCAA and the NAIA eligibility centers. Now, I call them clearinghouses. That's what they were a few years ago, but they're also eligibility centers. And you get your kid registered. So you go there, you go to Google, type in NCAA clearinghouse or eligibility center, and you'll see it. But you also want to do it for the NAIA because they have their own clearance center. Now, it's majorly important that you do this because, as we talk about a little bit later on, once you get to contacting the coaches, once you find out the schools you want to go to and you contact the coaches, they're going to go there first to see if you're even on track to be able to go to their schools. You got to remember, these college coaches don't have a lot of time. They want to see that you're on track, that you can play at that level, and they'll take more interest in your kid. So that's number two. Number three, you want to get set up to take the SATs and the ACTs. Now, everybody knows you have to take those tests to even get into college for the most part. But what people don't realize is that you want to make sure you take both tests, the SAT and the ACT, and you want to give yourself enough time to take them multiple times. Now, here's what's really important about the SAT and the ACT. Not just that you need to have them to get in anyway, but they're completely different tests. So you may have a child that does really well on the SAT, they won't do so great on the ACT, and vice versa. And really those tests are about how you think, how your child thinks. Every kid's different, and they'll excel on one more than the other. So you want to make sure they take both. Don't get caught up in just the SAT or just the ACT. And then the other thing I wanted to mention while I'm talking about that is make sure you try to find, there's plenty of organizations around that will help you prepare for the test, because really taking the SAT and the ACT isn't so much about how intelligent you are or how much you paid attention in class. It's really, part of it is how do you take the test. You have to know how to take the test correctly. In fact, one of them, I don't know if the ACT or the SAT, one of them, if you don't know an answer, you should pass on the question. On the other one, if you don't know the answer, you're better off guessing and trying to get it right. So you really need to know how to take the test, and that's those $400, $500, $600 courses that people are charging you to prepare, the prep test, really what they're teaching you is how to take the test. And then you can go online on the internet and do sample tests all the time. Okay, so that's number 3. Get ready to take the SAT, ACT. Make sure you take them both, and also make sure that you do some prep courses before you take them, and take them as many times as possible. All right, number 4, that's where our great software program comes in. Okay, so let's say you're ready to go. You think you have a kid that can play at that level, but what you don't know is what schools are available to them. So this software that we sell on our website for $30, this is the greatest deal in the history of the world as far as I'm concerned. If you have a kid that you think can play college, this puts the power back in your hands. It's going to tell you, it's going to have you put in some basic information, your child's GPA, their ACT, SAT scores, what sport they're playing, what area of the country they like to play. It asks quite a few things. You just fill in the questions, and then it's going to give you a list of every school that your child qualifies for. I mean, you can't do any better than that. Plus, it's going to give you contact information for those coaches. Now, this is the deal breaker for most parents. Sure, they've got a kid that can play. And what we're trying to do with this video and with my website, we're trying to be proactive, not reactive as parents. We're trying to put the power in your hands. Now, a lot of people question me about, they said, you know, there are recruiting services that have contacted them, and you know, the recruiting services are $400 to $800 to $1,200 to $20, depending on what you're trying to do. They're going to charge you to do this. It's the same exact thing that I'm telling you right now. So they say, well, are you saying that they're a waste of money? Absolutely not. Recruiting services actually do a great job. But there's one thing that they can't give you, and that's options. So a recruiting service is going to come in, they're going to evaluate your child, they're going to know the schools that your child qualifies for, and they're going to send out those questionnaires, and they're going to make contact for you, and then they're going to let you pretty much take it from there. They'll work with you all the way through the process. So what you're paying for is their expertise and their help. What I'm telling you is you can do 90% of this yourself, but that doesn't mean if I had a kid that was a senior and had gotten no prospects and their season was over, I go to a recruiting service right now. But if you have the time and you're willing to do a little bit of legwork, everything's here for you right now. So don't worry about it. If you need to go to a recruiting service, go ahead and do it. It's still going to save you a lot of money over the course of the cost of going to a college and paying out of pocket. So don't hesitate to do it if you need to. But what we're saying is, why not do both? For $30, you're in business, and everything else is free. You go to my website, I tell you everything else you need to do. Okay, so that's number 4. The 5th thing you need to know how to do correctly is, once you've identified the schools that your kid can go to, then you need to know how to contact them correctly. And this is where a lot of parents make a big mistake. They don't know quite how to contact correctly. How do you write that first letter? How do you do the follow-ups? So what's the process for doing that? Now, that is the one piece I'm not going to try to go through here on this video because I want to keep it as short as possible. But if you go to our website, I actually walk you through a couple of secrets that I was taught that actually make a huge difference on your response rate back from the college coaches. It really is a game in a lot of ways, but it's a really simple game once you know the rules. So, of course, that's all available on our website. All right, so the website is ProfessorQSS.com. I'll try to put it down on the bottom by where the video is so you can go straight to the site. I'm going to try to create a separate section just for scholarship information, but right now it's under the 8 to 12-year, 8 to 13-year-old, or 12 to 13. You'll find it. Whatever the oldest set of kids, you click on that, go to that section of the website, and I have a ton of stuff on there other than just the scholarship stuff. But all this should be there, all right? So remember, our whole goal at ProfessorQSS.com is to make sure your kid has a successful youth sports career. That's what we're all about. And the way we want to do that is putting options back in the hands of the parents, put you back in control. So from the time they're getting ready to start and take their first practice to the time that they're ready to get a scholarship, everything in between, if you do things the right way, your kid's going to have a ball, okay? They're supposed to have fun. Every kid's not going to get a scholarship. We understand that. But every single kid can have a successful sports career. I mean, to me, it's really, if you can make the high school team, that's pretty much a pinnacle for most kids. So we're going to try to get you there at the very least. But even if they don't get there, we're going to make sure that that experience was fun and that you were in control and you don't have to listen to a million other people try to tell you how to do things or the best way of doing things. You'll know when someone's giving you a bunch of nonsense, okay? So that's what we're all about. Go to the website. Now, I will tell you this: when you get to the website, in order to get to some of the meatier stuff, I do make you join the website, but it's absolutely free. I don't use your information for anything else. The reason I make you log in and create a username is so that I can protect a lot of the data on there. Don't forget, we have stuff for you to find trainers. We do a lot of product reviews. We do a lot of different stuff. Most of it you can get to without registering, but a lot of this stuff I'm going to have you register to the site, and it's all free once you get there. Okay, the software is $30. So I don't make the software, but I do have rights to it. The guy that created this for our customers to help them out. So absolutely go on and get it. And all the other information will be on the website. All right, so as usual, let's keep our kids in the game. Best of luck to you guys. Best of luck to your kid, and we'll talk to you later. Goodbye.